Good morning, YouTube. Drinking my iced coffee. Super excited to be here with you this morning. I'm not usually a morning person, so I'm kind of low key in the morning. So excuse the subdued energy. I'm really excited you're here catching the live or the replay because I'm starting out this new thing where I'm sharing my morning psychic ritual with you. Truth be told, I usually do it at night, not the morning. But I was guided to start my days a little earlier and to try and flip flop my intuitive process from evening to morning. And I could always use some accountability. And I know that the practices I share can help a lot of people that are my students or my followers or whatnot. So I'm sharing my psychic practice with you. So, welcome. Hi, Ivana. Good morning. So what we're going to do in these good morning intuitions is basically a list. It's kind of like a workout video for your intuition. I'm going to be circuit training you through a bunch of different psychic methods and quick things to journal. Good morning, intuitive Jen. Hi, Jen. So grab a notebook, grab a pen, because we are on these morning lives about to dig deep into what your intuition is telling you. This is not a talk at you, I'm going to read you type of thing. There'll be a little bit of that, but really it's about your morning intuitive ritual and practice. And I'm really, really honored to guide you through it. So grab a notebook and a pen. Good morning, Joanne. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Nero. It's great to see you guys. Good morning. Good morning. So the first thing I want to do is to just do a clearing. Okay. And I forgot my lighter. Hold on. Note to self, you're doing great. So I just want you to set the intention real quick that you're going to clear off all the ickiness and all the stagnation from yesterday, if you had any. And I'm going to ask that you set the intention that today you start your day clear and focused and with energy that serves you. And I'm going to ask that you allow yourself the blessing of letting go of anything that is just heavy and just enjoy a morning practice where that stuff doesn't have to weigh you down, but that you're feeling nice and clear and focused and intentional. Wonderful. So I'm going to do an opening prayer every day. Join me if you'd like by putting your hands on your heart. Taking a deep breath. Lord God, angels, spirit ascended masters and guides, we ask that you guide our intuitive practice today. We ask that you show up for us because we're showing up for you, and that this connection can be made, and from it, messages that you desire that we receive can be received. We commit to showing up and allowing ourselves the openness to bring in your messages and your love and your guidance, and we are so grateful for it. We ask you to turn on our hearing, our seeing, our feeling, and knowing so that all of the messages we get today land the way they're supposed to, and we can make positive decisions, changes, or focus on more positive directions as a result. We are so grateful to be connected to Spirit. We honor our connection with Spirit, and we honor our connection with others as we share our practice. Thank you. Okay, you got that pen and paper? I'm doing the same thing. Pen and paper time. So everybody has a little gratitude practice usually brought into their spiritual practice. But as many of you guys know, in my own personal reading practice, I'm a timeline girl. I focus a lot on timelines. And so I'm always thinking about the past, the implications of past. I'm always thinking about implications of present. I'm always thinking about implications of the future. And I think it'd be really cool for us each morning to do a gratitude practice that is focused on all three of those places on the timeline. And so it's meant to be exercising you just a little bit differently than a regular gratitude practice that's outside of that. So, what I'd like you to do is on your notebook, I'd like you to list one, two, three, past, present, and future. And I'm going to give us 3 minutes here. And what I'd like you to do, I'll tell you when we get to a minute and when we get to 2 minutes, I'd like you to just kind of brain dump and write a message and tune into each item of gratitude. First, the past, then the present, and then the future. And I'd like you to just name one thing. And again, the trick to the gratitude list and doing it over and over each day is that it doesn't always have to be something big. It can just be something that little that you appreciated. So let's count the time, 9:05. Let's give 1 minute for being grateful for the past. Go ahead and journal that now. Okay, let's wrap that one up. Just a quick intuitive hit. Just a quick thing that you can sink into with your intuitive feelings. So now I'd like you to turn your focus to item number 2, which is something you can be grateful for in the present. Try to think about today or something that's unfolding as we speak. Go ahead and take 1 minute to journal that. If you have any extra time, you are welcome to throw your comments in the chat as well. And I see Andrea, Rebecca, Bridget, and Connie also. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so we are grateful for that item in the present. And now it's time to do something that we don't always do, but we want to be grateful for something in the future. This is about stepping into the feeling as if it's already done, kind of law of attraction y, kind of future vision board energy. Okay. So we want to step into something that we're grateful for in the future. This could be something that doesn't have any momentum yet, or this can be something that is moving in that direction and it's unfolding and there's still more to come. Either way, go ahead and journal out your future gratitude item now. Okay, take just another minute to wrap that up. I have something really fun for us to do next. So it's my intention on these morning rituals that we touch our intuitive feeling, our intuitive knowing, our intuitive seeing, and our intuitive hearing. And so, in my opinion, getting closer to the gratitude list, that's really about feeling. It's about getting into the feeling of gratitude, which hones and shifts our intuition to the right vibration to be able to receive messages. So thanks for following me with that. The next one I'd like to lean into is knowing. So I did this thing at the Psychic Awakening retreat recently where I did 1 minute claircognizant hits. And as if you know, claircognizance is the, oh my gosh, I just knew in an instant. psychic ability. And so, what we're going to do is we're actually going to have you write down 5 questions, one at a time. And then you're going to do 1 minute of a brain dump on all your intuitions that you're getting about that question. I'll have 5 new questions for you every morning, and this part will vary from episode to episode. So I want you to take a moment to write down question 1, okay? So in your notebook with your pen and paper, today's first question is, what is a blessing that Spirit is trying to manifest for you, and how? What is a blessing Spirit is trying to manifest for you, and how? So take a minute, just 1 minute, and write down the first thing that comes to mind. Don't edit yourself, just throw it down in your notebook. Okay, wrap that up. It's just a quick hit. Get ready for the second question, claircognizant question. Oh, hi. Hi, Mitter. Nice to meet you. I'm glad you found your journal. That's wonderful. Okay, number 2. Claircognizant quick hit number 2. What does Spirit say is the first step you can take towards something you desire? I'll say that again. Number 2 is, what does Spirit say is the first step that you can take towards something you desire? Okay, number 2, let's go. Mine was quick this time. That came right out. Okay, take just another minute. Okay. Wonderful. Moving right along. Question number 3 for today. 1 minute, claircognizant hit. You ready? Number 3. What is holding you back from embodying higher energy or a higher frequency? Number 3. What is holding you back from embodying a higher energy or higher frequency? Okay, let's go. Question number 3, 1 minute. And remember, the idea is to be claircognizant here. So it's not about editing or overthinking. And it's not even just about thinking a thought. We've set the intention to connect with our intuition. So through our claircognizant exercises, we are actually using our intuition to get these messages. We are obtaining this data from Spirit. Don't overthink it though. Write down the first thing that comes to mind. Question number 4 today is, who is someone that Spirit says you should reach out to, and why? Who is someone that Spirit says you should reach out to and why? Number 4, here we go. You may find that your answers are a little more long form or that they're straight and to the point. For example, the one I got there was the name of the person, and then it was just so that she knows you care. So it can be straight and to the point sometimes too. Take just another moment. Okay, question number 5 today for our 1 minute clear cognizant hits, our last one today, is what thought that you have been thinking Spirit would like you to replace, and with what? So last question, number 5. What thought that you've been thinking would Spirit like you to replace, and with what? One more time. I know this one's hard to write down. What thought that you've been thinking would Spirit like you to replace, and with what? Hello, Lady Di. I'm glad you're enjoying it. All right, number 5. Here we go. I'm finding my answers are really short and direct today. That's awesome. It's okay if you have more to write too. Take just a moment. We're going to wrap this one up. That is our knowing section. We're halfway through our exercises. Good job, everybody. Ivana, it is a great question. If you got a really awesome answer that you'd like to share, throw it in the chat. You guys are welcome to throw your insights in the chat too if you'd like, or encourage each other along the process. That's why we're all together. Okay, I'd like to move into a a clairvoyant exercise now. So what I'd like you to do is drop your notebooks and your pen for a minute. We're just going to freestyle this every morning. What I intend to do now is to get us into some automatic soul writing, which is less about question and answers and more about a dialogue with your spirit guide. So I intend at this portion of our time together in the morning that we identify what guide is stepping in. And you can either ask for a guide to step in specifically if there's someone you want to hear from, or if you just leave it open, you may see a whole new guide that you understand very little about, but you've got a glimpse of them and now you can continue a chat with them. Now remember, because we've blessed and honored the space in both cleansing and prayer, the energies that you open up to will be your spirit guides. You always want to just intend that the energies you open up to are within the family of your spirit guides. And we've definitely set that intention and parameter for this exercise. So close your eyes. You might even want to put your hands on your heart. That helps me do quick meditations. It's a good practice for me. If you want to try that, you can. I want you to take a deep breath. And I want you to join me in our request that Spirit send us a guide this morning, a guide that has a message for us, a guide that would like to dialogue with us for 5 short minutes. Someone who loves and supports us and is on our spirit team, be it an ascended master, an angel, a family member, an ancestor, a spiritual teacher or leader of some type that's relevant to the goals and to the energy that we carry in this lifetime. We ask that the right guide for us step forward And I want you to imagine that in the blank space that you see behind your eyes, there's a place inside there where your imagination, which is the key to receiving psychic vision, not the opposite. I want you to imagine that a guide is starting to step forward into this imaginary slash vehicle for your intuition space. And you might not make out anything but their silhouette at first, but I'd like them to come and stand intuitively in front of you in your intuitive space, right in front of you. And what I'd like you to do first is to look down at their feet and just take a moment for this vision to fill out little piece by piece. Notice their feet. Are they wearing sandals? Are they human feet? Do they have feet? Sometimes if it's a spirit animal, they'll have something different. Sometimes if it's some sort of, Hindu god, it might have a different color skin, right? So look at the feet and then move your attention up towards the knees. And don't think too hard about this. Just notice the impressions that come through. It's less about deciding if what you see is right and more about just observing your thoughts. Take your attention now up to the waist and start noticing, what is this guide wearing? Does that give me any indication who they are or where they come from? Take your attention up to the chest and to the shoulders, starting to see the build of your guide. You should probably know if it's a man or a woman if that's the case. Take a look at their arms and their hands. Are they strong or slender? Now taking a look at the top of the head and the hair. You may have seen this guide before, or it may be a totally new guide. Either way, we have so many allies in spirit, and they're called in for a message for you today. And finally, you can look at the expression on their face. The expression on their face is often a message in and of itself. If the expression on their face is something that looks concerned, that's okay. That just gives you a little bit of information about the energy of the message they're giving you today. Not to scare you, just to communicate an idea. Most of the time, they will have loving smiles. Either way, I want you to take just a second, open up your eyes, take a deep breath, and I want you to take just a moment to describe your guide. Just take 1 minute here. Just take 1 minute here. I want you to go into your notebook and say, the guide that appeared to me today is, and you don't have to know their name, just go ahead and write down anything you got. Okay, take just 1 minute. Okay, so now what we want to do with automatic soul writing is you want to ask this guide a question. If there's a message coming through without a question, you can go ahead and write that down. But you are also in automatic writing, you're doing a dialogue with your guide. And so you almost want it to look like a texting feed with their comment followed by your comment, their comment followed by your comment. So take a moment here and write down a message that you're getting, or write down a question for your guide. And as soon as you're done writing your question, know that the thought that enters your mind, unedited, should be written down as the response. And you can trade responses back and forth for the next few minutes and get your message and your information from your guide. Go ahead and do that now. Just another minute or two. Keep the conversation going. If you get stuck, ask another question and notice the first thought that comes to mind. Don't edit. Don't edit. Don't overthink it. Your imagination is very, very neatly tied to your intuition. And so sometimes it feels like you're making it up. And I can appreciate that. But I guarantee you, if you set the intention and space to talk to your guide and you have a thought, this is an intuitive hit. So write down what comes. Just one more minute here. All right, let's wrap up now. So that was both our seeing and our hearing. So now we've psychically felt with our gratitude, psychically known with our claircognizant hits. We've had our seeing and our hearing session. And it wouldn't be a morning practice of an intuitive ritual if we didn't pull a card. So this is the last 5 minutes of our time together. And I'd like to invite you, as I did on the comments before this video started, if you'd like to grab an oracle deck and pull your own card for your own practice, I highly encourage that. If you don't have a deck handy, I'm going to be pulling a card. I will share that with you, and you are welcome to journal on the card that I pulled. Keep your journal out because we're just going to take another 1 minute of notes after we pull a card. If you have your own deck, grab it, shuffle it up. I'm going to ask the higher guides, mine included, to help us with our one card draw today. So pull your card and get ready to journal on it, or if you want to just go with the card I'm drawing, that's good too. Ooh. So the card I'm pulling from the Future Predictions Oracle deck. That's one of my Oracle decks. And my card is July. July is a really cool time frame. So basically, half of the cards in this deck, look at that lighting. Half of the cards in this deck are about messages that have to do with time passing. And then there are some cards that are about a certain month, a certain time frame in and of itself. I like to think of the month of July as sort of the beginning of the second half of a year. So there could be some things that came up for you today where you're thinking about what's the timing of it all. And it's not that it has to start in July, but I see a lot of momentum for a lot of us on a lot of things that we're doing, kind of cracking at the beginning of next year or the middle of next year because of the things we are starting today and into the new year. So keep in mind, a half a year is about a time frame that Spirit wants to speak to you. So this will be different for every person. So it is important that right now, whether you're journaling on my card or your own, take a minute and ask, how does this apply to me? And write down the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, go ahead and do that now. The other thing I love about a message in a future time frame is that it implies that the work we do today actually comes to fruition at a certain point, but also when it doesn't happen tomorrow or the next day, that we're not to give up hope, because some things have a timeline. There's a lot that can happen over a period of time, and if a lot needs to happen, a period of time might be necessary. So it's not that it's not happening, it's just that it might not be happening, might not be finished yet. Okay, so beautiful. Awesome. And we have just one last minute together. And what I'd like to do is get us all used to practicing something very near and dear to my heart. I've been doing this since I was hosting radio shows 10 years ago. It's something called dedicating your day. It's like setting an intention, except for dedicating your day is also a little bit more about action and what you're actually going to do. So I'd like to set a dedication for today, an intention with the intent to do action towards the intention as well. I'd like to dedicate my day to not going back to sleep and staying up and really seizing today now that I'm up early, which is one of the reasons I wanted to be with you at this time of day. It really suits me and helps me in the rest of the goals that I have. And so I'm going to ask myself to keep this energy going and not pull back into old patterns and go back and lay down, but to actually get out and do a run and seize the day from this moment that we part until I put my head on the pillow tonight. So if anybody else would like to dedicate their day, I'm going to stay on for an extra few minutes and just acknowledge your dedications and give you some love. And then we'll head off and have a wonderful day. So thank you so much for joining me. And if there's anything you want to put in the comments, I'll be here spending a few minutes with you. But otherwise, if you're headed out, blessings to you and all love and have a wonderful day. Going into the comments now. TK, you really needed this. I know, me too. I need it too. That's why I'm here. I'm so happy you enjoyed our time together. Intuitive Jen, I know you are just so supportive. Thank you so much for being here. Connie B, you're moving in July? Hopefully it will be to New Mexico. Oh, I love the desert. Wow, moving in July. That's fantastic. Good for you. I love that. Hi, Susan Williams. Hi. Intuitive Jen, my dedication today is step into confidence in some small way and let go of my comparison tendencies. Absolutely. Here. Rebecca says, thank you. You are welcome, Rebecca. Thank you for joining us. Jennifer says, thank you. You're welcome, Jennifer. Thank you for joining us. Carol, hi Carol, dedicates her day to realignment to her higher vibration. Yes, girl, get it. I love it. You're very welcome, Carol. Thank you for being here. And I am so happy to have served you today. Thank you so very much for being such a meaningful part of my morning routine. I will be here Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. That's 6 a.m. Pacific. And we'll spend about 30 minutes together. And then I promise you can move on with the rest of your day. So thank you again very much. Is it Mitter, I think is how you say it. I got the Angel of Love card. Oh, the Angel of Love. Tell us more. Tell us more. All right, I'm going to head out. Lots of love to you guys. Have the most amazing day. Blessings and namaste. Bye-bye.